It is time for the ultimate list. We have reached 10,000 subscribers, and I made a promise to you guys that once we did so, I would make a top 50 sports cars for less than $10,000 list. And well, I spent like 5 hours last night writing out the script for it, so I guess without further ado, let's do it. We got 50 sports cars today, baby, for students under $10,000. Today's going to be the first part of it. It's going to be a two-part series. Tomorrow's going to be the second part. I'm going to do 50 to 26 today, and then 25 to number 1 tomorrow. So, 2 parts of the series. But anyway, guys, my name is Mark Roden. If you're new to the channel here, subscribe. I do a lot of car stuff. If you want to support the channel even more than you already are just watching this video, head on over to www.smoothstance.com/shop to pick yourself up any merchandise to support the channel even more. Anyway, guys, this took a long time, so please smash that like button, and thank you guys so much for 10K. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so number 50 dead last, but keep in mind that even though these are the lower tier cars, they still made the list, which is better than a lot of cars out there. But number 50 is a W124 Mercedes AMG, which comes with a number of different engines for whichever model that you decide to go with, but they all are pretty good choices, and every one of them are rear-wheel drive too, which makes Russians love this thing for their winter drifting. It's actually crazy how Russians will drift literally anything, and this car seems to work extremely well for them. They're also criminally underrated cars, but just they don't have enough power to make it to the top 10, and plus I think they're only available in an automatic. Number 49 is the Volvo 240, and guys, in case you haven't noticed yet, since it's such a big list, we're only doing like 30-second entries instead of the usual minute-long entries for each car, and they're only going to get one clip in the background just to make it so that I don't like go insane. Anyway, the Volvo 240, it comes with a 2.3 liter inline 4 that makes 114 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, and they are literally the exact same scenario as the last car, except that these are even cheaper. They look a little bit worse in my opinion, but they do have a bigger aftermarket scene. Same deal with the Russians with this car too. They love drifting them. The car is like a blast from the past, and owning one seems to make everybody that has one happy. Number 48 is the 9th generation Honda Accord, which comes with a 3.5 liter V6 that makes 271 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive, and they came in either a coupe or a sedan, and they are both under $10,000, which makes me happy because that means that you can pick whichever one that you need. Personally, I like the coupe a little bit better, but that's my personal opinion. If you need a good show car / daily driver, the Accord 9th gen is an amazing choice. They look really good when slammed on the ground too, and they have 270 horsepower from factory. Number 47 is the Porsche Boxster 986, which comes with a 3.2 liter H6 or flat 6, making 250 horsepower, and it was rear wheel drive. And to be honest with you, they look terrible. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why. They just don't do it for me, alright? They're also a 911 lookalike, but are sadly not rear-engined, which kind of takes away the whole thing. Like, the whole cool part about a 911 is that it was rear-engine, and it's not rear-engine anymore, and it just looks off, and it's only available in a convertible. But it's still a good car, and if you like the looks, then it's not a bad choice at all. Number 45 is the Nissan 280Z, which comes with a 2.8 liter inline 6 that makes 168 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, and they look awesome. Okay, I will not lie about that. They look sick, and they have an inline 6, which is different than the Z cars that we see today, but I can't put the car any higher. I have to put my biases aside for this list, and if you don't care about the looks of a car, then this car is honestly kind of useless to you. It doesn't have that much potential. It's not super fast. It's not reliable. It just looks really cool. Number 44 is the BMW Z3, which comes with a 3 liter inline 6 that makes 225 horsepower, and it was rear wheel drive, and these cars are so underrated. I can't stand it. It hurts me that nobody talks about them. But honestly, drifters are kind of starting to get their hands on them, and that means that they will 100% fly up in price pretty soon, so get them while you still can. The only reason that I didn't put the car any higher is because a lot of people dislike the looks of these cars and say that they look like clown shoes. Personally, I don't see it that well, and I love the looks of them, but if you don't, then I guess it's lower on the list. Number 43 is the Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX, which comes with a 2 liter turbocharged inline 4, making 210 horsepower, and it was all-wheel drive, and this is the first all-wheel drive car of the list besides the E30. And these cars, man, they are just legends, but they aren't for everyone. I will put that out there real quick. They can make some insane power, they can look really good, but they just don't hit right with most of the community, which is kind of sad because I love these cars. I know somebody who has a 600 horsepower one, and they're really cool cars, but for some reason, most people, they just don't like them. Number 42 is the Mazda Miata NA or the NB. They're the same exact car, and it comes with a 1.8 liter inline-4, making 135 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, and I guarantee that horsepower number is crank horsepower, because there's just no way in hell that a Miata makes 135 horsepower to the wheels. They are dog piss slow in a straight line. They're not fast, but that doesn't mean that they aren't fun. There's a reason everybody likes the Miata. They are canyon carvers. But if you are someone who likes to go fast and like highway cruising, then yes, it's a bad choice. But if you like the like twisties and the turny boys, then a Miata, hey, it's always the answer. Number 41 is the Toyota MR2 SW20, which comes with a 2-liter inline-4, making 135 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive and mid-engined, which made for a deadly combo. In case you don't know, this car experiences something called snap oversteer, which, long story short, is going to cause you to crash if you don't know how to handle it. And simply due to that fact only, I couldn't put the car any higher. It does look amazing, and it has some insane potential, and it's just like literally going to be a JDM legend one day, but I just can't recommend a rolling coffin to you guys. Number 40 is the Mazda RX-7 FB, which comes with a 1.1 liter 2-rotor rotary engine that makes only 100 horsepower on the dot. I think this is the slowest car on the list, and it was rear-wheel drive, and they look awesome to me, man. That's literally the only reason I put it any higher than any of the other cars. If the looks aren't it for you, which honestly it probably won't be since a lot of people don't like this car, then this car is worthy of last place. It really honestly has nothing going for it. The rotary engine in it is not really like good. It isn't reliable. It isn't easy or cheap to build. It just looks cool. Number 39 is the Honda Civic Si 8th generation, which comes with a 2-liter inline-4, making 197 horsepower, and it was front-wheel drive, of course. And it is an absolute hit or miss for you. You either like it or hate it, and personally, I like it, all right? It is a Civic, so it has some insane potential, but it is still new enough to just be a good daily driver if you don't want to build it. That's what I love about Civics, man. I've been saying it for years. They're just good at everything, but they're not like... Number 36 is the Porsche 944, which comes with a 3-liter inline-4, making 208 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, and they look actually pretty damn good to me, unlike the other Porsche on this list. I don't know what they were doing when they made that car, but the 944 has one flaw. It's very small aftermarket support. The community for the 944 just isn't big enough to get any like aftermarket support for it. So if you like modifying cars, then maybe it's not the best bet. They do look really good though, I'll give it that. And if you just swap an LS in it, you're golden. Number 35 is the Volkswagen GTI Mark IV, which comes with a 1.8 liter turbocharged inline-4 that makes 170 horsepower, and it was front-wheel drive. And these cars are like the opposite of the Porsche that we just talked about. They have great tuning potential and an absolutely huge community for them, but they just don't look that good to me. Either way though, I do know a lot of people like the looks of them, so if that's you, this is still a great choice. But they're also getting a little bit played out in my opinion. Like everybody has one. I don't know, they're just a very basic, you know, hatchback, but they do have a good tunable engine and they're very reliable. Number 34 is the Lexus LS400, which comes with a 4-liter V8 making 270 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. And that's right, this little freaking grandma sedan that you would see Betty White driving around came with a Japanese V8, and it was rear-wheel drive with a bunch of power to back it all up while still being comfortable. It's still comfortable. Also, I personally didn't like the looks of them until I saw them stanced, and now I love them. Like, but all good things must come to an end, and the end for one of these is the fact that they didn't come in a manual transmission, which just makes sense, but is still very sad. Number 33 is the Toyota Supra Mark III, which comes with a 3-liter inline-6, making 225 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, and they look awesome. All right, I have said before that I think the car is super good looking and so underrated, and now they are finally starting to get the recognition that they deserve. But because of the hype, the price is massively flying up, so if you want to get one, make sure you get it before they become Mark IV Super prices. Number 32 is the Pontiac GTO, which stands for Get That Ostrich, which I know, okay, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, that they put it in number 32, but they came with a 6-liter V8 making 400 horsepower, and they were rear-wheel drive. And I know this car is insanely fast and worthy of a top 20 in your opinion, man, but listen, These cars were built for one thing and one thing only, and that's straight line speed. I, honest to God, do not care so much about straight line speed, but more about how a car handles. But if you do like straight line speed, this is literally in the top 10. It's one of the fastest cars on this list. Number 31 is the Nissan 240SX S13, which comes with a 2.4 liter inline-4, making 140 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, and they are sick, man. I mean, who doesn't love an S13? They look amazing, they handle amazing, they have a good engine to build, and are a great platform for a swap. It seems like you can put any engine in these cars. And don't even get me started on their drifting capabilities, but the car is insanely overpriced. Like, easily the most overpriced car on this list, maybe in the world. But if you absolutely need an S13, you can find one under 10K all day. It's just going to need a lot of work. Number 30 is the Honda Prelude 5th generation, which comes with a 2.2 liter inline-4, making 200 horsepower, and they were front wheel drive and insanely underrated. The Prelude is like if the Civic and the Integra had a beautifully sexy Megan Fox baby. They just look amazing, and they're still an inline-4 Honda, so you know that they're going to make some insane power once you start putting some work into it. And on top of that, putting that work into it's going to be super easy. Have you ever seen a Honda's engine bay? It's literally like a Lego set. Number 29 is the BMW 328i E36, which comes with a 2.8 liter inline-4, making 190 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, but you freaking better get the rear-wheel drive one, because these cars are the next S13. Everybody in the drift world wants one of these cars, and it makes sense. They are so dirt cheap for what they are. They also have simple but effective styling in them that all BMWs always have, and the aftermarket support is just through the roof on these cars. Number 28 is the Mazda RX-7 FC, which stands for frick chalk, because I just hate chalk. All right, it gets all like, it like scratches your fingernails and it makes you all like, ugh, I hate it. Anyway, it comes with a 1.2 liter two-rotor rotary engine that makes 160 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. And once again, it's an insane drift missile, but these ones just look a little bit better, and since they have that insane rotary engine that will leave you stranded because they are unreliable as hell, they get the spot above the E36. I've seen some insanely clean FC RX-7s, but besides a show car or a drift car, they honestly don't have that much going for them. Number 27, my bad, is the Ford Mustang GT New Edge, which comes with a 4.6 liter V8 that makes 260 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. And I mean, what is there to say about these cars? You either love Mustangs and live by them, you go to like freaking cult meetings with other Mustang drivers, or a Mustang is the last car that you would own. So since it's 110% completely up to you, I have to place it pretty much right in the middle. It's a pretty average Mustang on top of that too. It's kind of like right in the middle. It makes 260 horsepower. Sure, it's a good car. It's a Mustang. Number 26 is the third generation Acura TL, which comes with a 3.5 liter V6 that makes 286 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive. And they are like the ultimate daily driver that is just so baller at the same time. And when you look it up on Google, they classify the car as a sports car. All right, I'd never thought they would say a TL is a sports car, but they do. So if you want a sports car, here you go. But seriously, they look amazing, and even though they don't have a Honda inline-4 that can make 1,000 horsepower if you freaking like fart in it, they still make very good power and are still a good platform to build on. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's part 1 of the 2-part series. Tomorrow is going to be part 2, so stay tuned. We're going to finish it off. We're going to do the 25 to number 1. Guess right now in the comment section what you think the top 5 are going to be. I bet you can't. I bet you probably can, actually. If you watch this channel, you'll probably easily be able to guess them, but who knows, man, who knows. Anyway, guys, oh, before we even leave the video, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, I kind of forgot, but in case you don't know, it's pretty impossible to like actually rank these according to like skill or performance or anything like that. So for the top like 40, I kind of just threw them in there and kind of tried my best to give them like a good order, but they're obviously not in like perfect order. So a lot of these cars could be switched around, especially depending on the circumstances that you're in, just so you know. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Thank you so much for 10K. That's the whole reason why we're doing this. And das Vidania, have a nice night.